Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Lit Long Island Talks. And we want to say thank you to Latino Mixx Radio. Don't forget to download the app, Latino Mixx, with 2 X's at the end, okay? And you can follow me on Instagram at lit_Long Island Talks_MS. So today is a special day. I am privileged to say that we have a very special guest today. We have someone that graduated from Syracuse University. She is a CEO and founder of I Am. She is also an HR manager. She is the chair of Next Gen. She is a member of the Huntington Chamber of Commerce, and I'm already running out of breath. So before I continue, why don't we welcome our great friend, Netanya Lewis. Hello, Netanya, welcome.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Very nice to see you again, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Very long, extensive introduction, but thank you.
And you know what? And I cut it short.
You did.
Because I was already running out of breath.
You
right?
did. It's okay.
So how are you? How's your week going?
It's going well. You know, I'm just working like I'm always doing. So it's been a good week. What about you?
Yeah, no, the same. And I was doing something since early this morning. Okay. And before you know it, the day is already almost over. Mm-hmm. Where does it go?
Away.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And something that I do have to share with our listeners is that I had the privilege of meeting you, maybe like about 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think I've seen you more than ever.
Yeah.
In the 3 weeks.
Correct.
Right? I saw you in Albany.
You did.
Right?
We did bump into each other.
Yes, at the Capitol building.
Yeah.
So what were you doing in Albany?
So basically, we were having an event, or not an event, but the senators and legislators, congressmen and women, they were having legislative event upstate. So I'm actually a part of the NAACP, so we ended up joining them and just really getting to know who our representatives are, because it's so important, especially in today's climate, to know who are the leaders that are representing us. So right. I was there just being a voice along with my colleagues. So that's why I was there. Why were you there?
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Okay.
The same. I was there representing Long Island, mm-hmm. and I'm also part of the Long Island Lobby Coalition. Oh, awesome. So we were there for the same purpose, representing different organizations.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So tell us about, now that we're in the community involvement part of the conversation, tell us about your community involvement and why is it important for someone to be involved in the community?
Sure. So I'll start with a few titles that you already listed. So the first thing being, me and my family, we are franchise owners for a retail front called Batteries Plus. In addition to that, I do own my own LLC, and I'm the CEO and founder of I Am. I affirm myself. You are important. You are necessary. You are needed. So under that, I am a speaker, author, and professional development coach. So the reason why that affects the community or impacts the community is because, 1, I'm a minority. 2, I'm also female. And then 3, I really just want to help the further development of people in our cohort, our age group. And I feel like it's easier to do something that you love or something that you want to do when it looks so tangible, right? Like if you're able to connect and say, she kind of looks like me, so I can do the same things that she can do. Right. So I want to say in that way or that space, I'm able to be relatable. I'm able to associate, these are the things that I'm able to do and kind of be a voice for those people that are still building whether that's their careers professionally or personally. Right. So that's really what I would say is a community impact.
Yes, of course. And it's really important that you say, our age group. So she included me in her age group, which I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Now, I know I shouldn't be asking your age, and I won't. But are you a millennial?
I feel like I'm right at the cusp. So I'm 28. I just turned 28. I'm fine with that. And so am I a millennial?
You are
I'm not
millennial.
Gen Z.
You're not. No, you are a millennial.
I remember when we had to slide up with the phones instead of the iPhone.
Okay, are you talking about the phones that you dropped on the floor and they never broke?
Exactly. Yeah. So I was there.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So I feel like I was a millennial. So everything is fine.
Yeah. No. Of course. And I always say I'm at the beginning of the millennial phase. Mm-hmm. So I'm the beginning. You're towards the end.
There we go.
Right.
And that's the beautiful circle of life.
Right. So what motivated Netanya to open up a business and be an entrepreneur?
Okay, so we'll focus on I am right now. So basically with I am, so as you guys know, I graduated from Syracuse University with a BA in economics. Shout out to SU. Aside from that, though, I am was really birthed from a personal experience that I went through. So before I went to Syracuse, I went to a different school. I won't say the name of the school. However, I ultimately ended up getting kicked out of that school, and it was traumatizing. I do take accountability and responsibility for that happening.
Sure.
However, the consequences of getting kicked out of school was life altering. I came from a 2-parent household. You know, I had my mom, my dad, the dog, the white picket fence, the house on the hill. So that's for me, I was like, whoa, this is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like a life grab, I guess. So when I ended up getting kicked out, I also ended up going just total transparency, like on probation. Like it was a really bad time for me. I had different thoughts, whether that was like anger, hurt, sadness, pain, trauma, like all of those things, and suicidal, depressed, all because of that one circumstance. Because for me, I don't want to say that life came easy to me, but I really came from a blessed family, a blessed background. So for me, that was just something that I've never went through or been through. So after that experience, I really I was home, of course, because I wasn't at school. I wasn't able to go to school. When you're on probation, you're just home. So like I couldn't do anything. So it was really a time for me to reflect on where I wanted my life to go, where I wanted to be. So during that downtime, I was able to, and it wasn't by myself. It was, to be totally honest, it was also God, right? So I was by myself, and I was just in a position where I was like, I'm either going to grow from this experience or let it succumb me. So I took it as an opportunity to grow, and I started writing. I've always been a writer. I've written like poetry when I was little. I've always written. So I was just writing one day. I remember I was at my living room table. It was just me. My dad, he was home at the time. My mom, she was at work. My brothers were at school, blah, blah, blah. I'm just writing. I finished it. That's actually a book that will be released probably in a few years. I need a bigger following first.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but that book is my passion in my life, and that's really the steps that I needed to take in order to get to where I am today. However, it was through that experience where I am was birthed. So it's like when I felt like I wasn't essential to the world, when I felt like nobody cared, when I felt like people hated me, and all these life-altering circumstances were happening around me, I just started writing. And I don't even know how I am came up, but that's the point, I guess, or the climax.
Right.
So I am, and then I am stands for I affirm myself. So it's like whether you're loved or hated, right? Whether you're accepted or not accepted, at the end of the day, you need to affirm yourself.
Right.
And then that's where my tagline came from. You are important, you are necessary, you are needed. So no matter what you've been through, no matter the life situations that has happened to you, at the end of the day, you are important, you are necessary, you are needed. And then my goal or my desire is to impact, influence, and engage every generation before and after me. And that's where my children's book comes from. So that's the first generation that I was able to impact. And I do that through speaking at local schools, speaking at local youth centers, organizations. The next cohort or generation that I need to impact is ours, right? So I have the second book, which is my heart. However, I have my digital marketing agency. I go to different schools and I speak professional development, coaching, whatever that is. So right now I'm out of the grinding mode and I'm onto the growing, right? So, and then later I'll be onto the gratification. However, during the growing, those are just things that I'm working on currently. So that's where I am really came from, a life or personal experience where I had to decide where I was either going to grow for it or let it swallow me.
Right. And you know what? Sometimes as an individual, it's okay to hit rock bottom, right? Because you grow from that, and it's almost like a new start, a new beginning, right? It's very impressive because even though we've only known each other for a short period of time, I think when we connected and we started talking, I knew that you had a lot to offer.
Oh, thank you.
And you had substance, and you had you're a people's person,
Yeah.
and you just glow, and the whole room, when people walk in, the whole room is lit.
I'm a crier, guys.
Okay, all right.
Thank
So
you.
it kind of goes with the name of the show, Lit, right? So we have a lit person in the show, right?
Thank you.
No,
That
thank
means
you.
a lot. Thanks.
No, thank you. And I say that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Yeah.
You have to. I feel like, especially as we get older, we need people to look up to. When I was younger, I didn't have someone that I can look up to and where I was like, well, they did it and overcame it. How can I do that?
Right.
So I truly do try to influence, impact, and engage every single person that I speak to.
Of course.
Whether that's like a word of encouragement, some
Right.
advice on how to get to the next level. I really, it's so important. Like, every individual is so important to me.
Right.
And that's just my life. That's just what I desire to do.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what other community organizations are you a part of?
Oh, sure. So a few. I would say the first is the Melville Chamber of Commerce, of course, which was our first meeting. I'm the chair for Next Gen, so the Young Professionals Network. There is where we host different activities bi-monthly, where we're really just assisting the young professionals, right? Whether that's financial literacy, whether it's wealth management, whether it's just networking. So that's
Right.
the purpose of that. Along with that, I'm in the Huntington Chamber of Commerce. I'm a member for that organization. With that organization, I haven't been as active just because I have my hands in so many other things right now. However, I was a 30 under 30 recipient, so that was awesome.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Very impressive.
Thank you so much. So I did that. And then I mentioned I was a member of the NAACP for the
Yes.
North Shore branch. So that's an awesome blessing that I'm grateful for. Aside from that,
So do me a favor. Can
Yes.
you spell for our listeners? Can you spell Next Gen? Because I was saying it wrong for the longest time.
way.
I was saying next. With a T, Next Gen, for next generation. Can you spell it
Gotcha.
for us, please,
Of
if you
course,
wouldn't mind?
Of course. So it's lowercase n-e, capital X, G-E-N, lowercase G-E-N.
And what motivated you to be a part of Next Gen? See, I said it again. Next Gen.
It's okay. I want to say the motivation. All right. So before we get to Next Gen, just the Chamber of Commerce.
Sure.
Let's back up there.
Yes.
So first, I want to say that my dad, he was very influential in my life. So my dad, he actually transitioned or passed away about 3 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But my dad was like, he was like my hero in a way, right? So he was the epitome of success. Like when I envisioned or imagined success, like he was that guy. Like that was my twin. That was my guy. So he always told me like, Nay, you can do whatever you want, ba-ba-da-ba-da. And I was like, I appreciate it, just thanks. So then when he transitioned, again, a pivotal point in my life, I had to come to a place where I was like, well, where can I get this new wisdom or knowledge from? Who do I turn to? Like, yes,
Sure.
I have God, but who are going to be the next mentors in my life?
Right.
Because you can only go as far by yourself. So we started Batteries Plus. I went to an event at the Melville Chamber, just like a networking event, just to see what the purpose is, what I could get from it, etc. And I went and I was able to connect with colleagues on such a professional level where I was like, this is really a safe space. I could really tell you guys like my desires and my goals and my dreams for myself, and you guys can give me the actionable steps on how to get there. And that was something that I really was yearning for, because it's like I didn't have like my dad in my ear saying like, Nay, this is what you need to do to get there. So now I had to rely on other people to really help and guide me. And that's where I found it at the Melville Chamber. And then because I do have such a desire to help the younger generation, I showed interest. I did the work, I did the research, and I worked myself up into that position. So that's how I got into it. I was searching for knowledge.
Very nice. And you know what? I was going to ask you, what do people call you for short? But you already answered that. Nay. That's amazing.
Yes.
Like myself, my name is Misolino, and you know me as Misolino, but
Yes.
everybody calls me Miso.
Okay.
And I always joke like the soup.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Do you like miso soup?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
I do.
That's very impressive. Now, what part of the island are you from?
So I want to say, like, everywhere. So I was first born in Westbury, so Nassau County. Then I moved to Melville. I was in Melville most of my life. So, like, elementary school, middle school, high school. Then I went to college in Syracuse, came back, and then we moved to Huntington. So I want to say Huntington and Melville are like my stomping grounds.
Sure.
And then now I'm currently in Hicksville. However, I am looking to purchase. So I'll be somewhere in Long Island, probably. Somewhere closer to the city a little bit.
Well, congratulations. So we're talking about more Nassau County area.
Yeah, like Great Neck, Roslyn, like
Okay.
that type of area. I like it. It's
All right.
calm. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
I like it. So.
Yeah. And out of curiosity, since you've been all over Long Island pretty much, right? And you're still all over Long Island just networking
Yes.
and meeting new people.
Yes.
What is your favorite Long Island spot?
Okay, so
What do you recommend to our listeners?
oh no, I'm a workaholic. So I feel like if I'm not working, I'm eating somewhere. I'm a foodie.
Uh-huh.
So I would say I am a foodie. Favorite spot?
Nassau, Suffolk.
I was the food. Let me see. Food, restaurants. I just went to Blackstone this weekend.
Blackstone is nice.
That was fun. Where else? Huntington Village is a fun time. They
Yes.
have the different foods. They have like lasagna, besito. They have
Yes.
like a lot of different restaurants over there. And besides that, work on your career, guys. Don't go out, don't party, just work.
Just work, right.
Unsolicited advice.
And let me tell you, I'm a repeat offender myself.
Okay.
And before I know it, it's already Sunday and I'm still working.
Yeah.
Right? But we
definitely.
have fun with what we do. And we do what we like,
Exactly.
right? And sometimes it's hard to explain that to people that question us all the time. Why do you work so much?
Exactly.
Why don't you do a Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week? But if you're an entrepreneur,
It doesn't stop.
it never stops. And it shouldn't.
It should not. No.
No. And it's a good problem to have.
It is. It
Yes.
is.
Have you ever had Peruvian food?
I don't think so. Do you have a place?
Yes. So there are a couple of places on Long Island.
Okay.
There is one in Huntington. It's called La Candela.
Wait, no, I know that place.
You know that
and
place.
they're partying really late at night. Yeah.
Yes. And the food is really good.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So hello, Elizabeth and her husband, if they're watching.
Wait, so this is like a little embarrassing. I think I worked there for like a few days.
Oh, okay.
And then the reason I think I either left or got fired, but
Okay.
I stopped going.
Okay.
But the reason was because it was so late, and
Right.
like the hours. I think the hours are until like 12 or 1 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah,
And-
something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
long.
it's like me. I'm always working,
Right.
and then if I'm not working or eating, I'm sleeping.
Okay.
So it was just a little bit too late for me
Yeah.
personally, but
Yeah.
I'm boring like that.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. But let me tell you, I recommend ceviche anywhere you go.
Okay.
So whether it's Nassau, Suffolk, whatever restaurant you choose, ceviche is the dish
Really?
to order.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it on my bucket list.
Put it on your. We'll go one day. I promise.
Oh my God. Guys, you heard it here first.
Yes. So now, what about to just visit? Like, what downtowns are you more attracted to? Do you like more of maybe the Nassau towns? Do you prefer the Suffolk? Do you prefer in between?
So I want to say if I'm not, because I don't just travel Long Island just to travel.
Right. Because we're
like,
working.
Exactly.
Right.
But if I'm not working, I rather travel kind of outside of the New York area. Like
Okay.
I like to out of state, out of the country. That's my thing.
Gotcha.
So like last year I went to like Mexico, Costa Rica. No, I didn't go to Jamaica. Haiti. So I went out of the country. So
That's
I don't
amazing.
really travel like Long Island, Nassau versus Suffolk.
Sure.
But there is a really nice beach further out in Suffolk County. I'm forgetting the name of it though.
Say Robert
like-
Moses,
No,
Jones
it's
Beach.
far out east, really far. It was
Well,
like
look-
a 2-hour drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was far, but it
Okay.
was so beautiful. Me and my best friend, we went during COVID,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a private beach, However, they weren't charging because it was COVID.
Sure.
So we got right through, and it was so beautiful. It was like you were out of the country. It was
Really?
it was like the Bahamas. Like, it just looked so beautiful, like not Long Island. So, I mean, that was
All
fun.
right. So it's something that I'm going to have to look up.
Yeah, I'll have to find it for you.
Because I usually go to Robert Moses or Jones Beach, and I joke because I love going to the beach. So
Okay.
I joke with people when they ask me, where did you go? You know, and I try to make it sound a little bit more exciting.
Okay.
So I say, I went to Roberto Moses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they're like, where is that? I'm like, well, that's here on Long Island.
Oh my goodness. So honestly, me and my family, we used to do vacations every year during the summer. So we would actually go to Martha's Vineyard every year. So like that was the beach. So I feel like the standard that I'm used to in terms of the beach experience
Sure.
is a little bourgeoisie. I'm not going to Robert Moses or anything.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that for me.
Yeah.
So I'll go out east, or I'll wait until my next vacation.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, okay. Listen, we have a lot to do this summer.
Yeah.
So, Netanya, going back to your business, can you discuss with our listeners and our viewers what impact has your business had on the industry and the community in general?
Sure. So with my business, I want to say that I've been able to speak. I've been in rooms where I was able to speak to over 150 students. And to hear the feedback after that conversation. And basically, when I say impact, I basically tell them my story, right? So what were the exact events that took me to my lowest point, and what were the exact events to get me past that? I go through that actual story. And people, when they first look at me, they're like, no way. Like, no freaking what? Can I say that freaking?
That's fine.
Okay. like no way. And I'm like, yeah. And then I've had people come up to me later and say, that was so inspiring. It's so amazing how you can just bounce back. And then I've had people that have been inspired by my story, and then they decided to be vulnerable in their own space and then start encouraging others. Or I've had people even send me like messages on LinkedIn, send me messages on Facebook, Instagram. You went through this, so I feel like I can get through this now.
That's
what
amazing.
are the things that you can do? You helped me get over this depression
Right.
in some capacity. You've helped me know that I can keep going, that this isn't the end for me. So I've had like beautiful messages like that.
Right.
So I don't want to say I haven't had like a global impact yet. You know, it's still local, but it's getting up there.
Well,
you know?
it sounds to me that you are becoming a mentor for many people.
Yeah.
Right? And people are looking up to you and they want to...
Absolutely. And I love that. It's so
Right.
inspiring because I could help, and my desire is to help as many people as I can
Right.
before I leave this earth, you know? So it's just, right now it's still local, but eventually it'll get bigger.
Because it sounds like you like to connect with the people.
I do.
In a way, whether they've lived similar experiences as you have, but you connect with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, I want to say, if you can ask my circle of friends, I have a circle of friends, and people that I just meet, like strangers, networking, whatever, I'll always ask them, are you where you want to be? And then another conversation will come, what are the things that you need to get to where you want to be?
Sure.
So those are if you ask my friends, those are the questions that I'm talking about, having a discussion with. I even remember I had a gala, and I ended up talking to just, I guess, a colleague or an associate. And everyone was like super lit. It was like a party, a gala, nice celebration.
And we like that word, lit, right?
I really like that word. And I ended up talking to this young guy, and I was just like, well, are you living in your dream right now? What is your dream? How can I help you get to your dream? And I'm telling you, like, I had like 3 glasses of wine, and I'm just like, but what's your dream? You know, how can we get there? Can I write your recommendation? Like, how can I get you there? So it's conversations like that really makes my heart really, like, just, I don't know, just really thump.
Right.
We're going to use that word.
Okay. Perfect.
So it's those kinds of conversations that has my heart that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah, and you know what? Something that I admire is that from the moment that I saw you speaking in the room in front of, how many people were there?
It was maybe like 30,
like 30-ish, 40-ish,
Yeah.
right? You always have a smile on your face.
Oh, thank you.
And a lot of times people ask how, right? So what makes you smile when you speak?
I want to say, I feel like when people go through their throughs, right? So I feel like it's during when you go through whether that's loss or grief or it's like just anything that you go through, and then you have these moments where you have these little moments of like gratefulness or blessedness. Like you woke up this morning, you were able to drive to work, you were able to take a bus to work, you have your limbs, like just the little blessings, you know. Right. And you just think on that and resonate on that, and that's really just why I think I smile, you know. There's no reason for me to be sad. There's somebody that's always going through something so much worse than me. And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the lives that I can impact. I'm grateful for my time here. And I want to say it was through the loss of my dad that made me really think and say, people really don't know what you're going through, you know, and you don't know what other people are going through. Sure. You don't know if they experienced a loss recently. You don't know if they lost their job. You don't know if they got kicked out of school. You don't know anyone else's story. Right. So I actually had a manager when I was doing commercial real estate. So I did commercial real estate a little bit ago, and he said kindness matters. And I take that to heart, that kindness really does matter. You know, it doesn't hurt to smile at someone. Like, it doesn't hurt. Right. It doesn't hurt to say hello or have a great day. So I just try to keep those things in the forefront of my mind and just you know, have the love of God. Right,
of course. So now what advice would you give someone that may have an issue with maybe smiling, you know, something as simple as smiling, but people may have a problem with, you know, with those muscles on their faces. So what advice do you give those people? Just think positive?
No, I mean, no, because you can say that, right? But
because you know what, you'd be surprised, because again, I've had this conversation with multiple people, especially being in the banking world years ago, and dealing with the public. Yeah, it could get difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you really have to do an internal, and that's where it becomes an internal reassessment of your life and who you are and what you're currently bringing to the table and what you want to bring to the table. Why you have to do a self-evaluation. Why am I the way that I am? Why do I have an issue being nice to people? What is so wrong about me, or what is going on in my life where it hurts for me to say like hello? You know, that's like an internal self-evaluation, get therapy type of conversation. Because I feel like there's no reason in my mind, you know. But then again, I'm only 28. What do I know? I don't know.
Please, no.
So I really feel like it's really about an internal self-evaluation that you have to conduct with yourself, and sometimes you have to be really honest with yourself. Sure. And sometimes you really do have to get into a deep place to figure out what's going on, you know? Is it a lack of love for myself, self-love, you know? Is it a lack of care for myself? Like, what are the things in my heart that are not right? And then then you have to think, how can I get better at it? Maybe it's looking for a mentor. Maybe it really is getting a therapist. Maybe it's finding a new colleague or network of friends, because you are also the people who you are surrounded by too.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
So it can be your network in that capacity. So I feel like it's a lot of internal work that you have to do.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with you, because again, it comes back to, you don't know what people out there are going through, right? Exactly. So sometimes we think our world is ending. Oh, you know, I need an oil change. You never know what they're.
Yeah, I need an oil change, right? And a tire alignment.
Right, exactly. We were talking yesterday. I was talking to her yesterday, and as soon as I picked up the phone, I was so excited that I finally got my car. My oil change, right? Yeah. And I also got the tire rotation. It was very well needed, but I finally got it done. When are you getting it done?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay. That's going to bring a bigger smile on your face.
Yeah. And then you have to think of it like this. So I'm grateful that I have the financial means to at least afford that.
Correct.
Right? So it's a paradigm shift. It's a mind thing. So
right.
I mean, of course, I'm not excited about spending $500, but at least I have it.
Right.
And I just have to work extra hard.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's the little things. That's how you get through.
Absolutely. So now, as an entrepreneur, what advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur, someone that may want to open up their own business? What advice would you give to them?
Okay, so there's so many things that I can say.
Please, by all means.
No, I'll bring it down to maybe like 2 or 3 points.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing that I want to say is it can either be one day or day one, right? So you can say one day I want to be an entrepreneur, or you can say on day one, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C in order to get to where I need to go as an entrepreneur. So that's the first step, like just really committing to it, right? Because there's a certain level of commitment. If you're, it depends on your risk taking also, right? If you're like someone that likes to be safe, I do not recommend entrepreneurship for you. However, if you're okay with taking risks once in a while, that type of a thing, then I definitely go for it. Second thing is your passion. If it is not your passion, please do not do it. I tried the content creation thing, and that was not for me. What else have I tried? I think that was it. Yeah, that was just not my thing. Like I had my whole tagline for the content creator life. It was so bad. No. So really find your passion. My passion is encouraging others. My passion is impacting others. So that's where I came up with like my name, the I am, the tagline, my mission statement, my goal, my vision. And then you have to really do the work,
Right.
So find the passion, do the work, and start.
Sure.
I think people are just so afraid to start. It's just like the gym, right? The first, like say you take a break for months on end, and then you go the first day. It takes I think it's 21 days to build a habit.
21 days to build a habit.
Yeah. So you just have to go.
And 1 day to break it.
Just one day.
Yep.
Like I need to get back to the gym. Just one day. Yep. So that's just really important, finding a passion, doing the work, and really committing to it. So I want to say those 3 things. And then evaluate your circle. I feel like it's so important to have people that support you. I have my best friend, Michelle. She has been with me like through thick and thin. Like I appreciate, shout out Michelle.
Hello, Michelle.
I appreciate her so much just because she's been there when I've been in my lows, and she's been there for my highs, and there's never been any jealousy. There's never been any envy, anything like that. And for that, I'm so eternally grateful for that. So really assess your network and make sure you have people surrounding you that want you to win, because some people, they don't want you to win. Like they'll smile in your face and stab you right in your face.
Yeah, absolutely.
So really evaluate and assess your friendships and only tell the people that you trust, Not everyone has to know what you're doing. Move in silence.
Of course.
And sometimes it can be hard, but it's just until you're able to know the people that are for you or not for you, those are just some of the steps that you have to take. And then especially do the research, do the work. I'm a part of so many Facebook groups where it's like entrepreneurship, real estate group. I'm a part of so many groups. And it's like people that are so much older than me, they're asking questions like, well, how do I start an LLC? Or how do I get my EIN number? Google it. Like do the work.
Right.
You can't have, I feel like our mentality, because we have electronics at our disposal, we want things to be like instantaneous, and it's not.
No, we still have to not only talk the talk, but we have to walk the walk.
Exactly.
Right.
And I feel like people forget that you really have to do the work.
Of course.
And whether you have to allocate a certain amount of time just to do that work, figure it out. But life is not going to be handed to you like a silver platter. I mean, unless you're born into that kind of wealth, but but the average American or around the country, you have to do the work. So I would say do the work, find your passion, and commit to it.
Of course. Now, do you have any newly discovered talent that you want to share with us?
So I newly discovered. I wouldn't say newly
or hidden talent.
No. No, what I'll say is I just wish I had time to work work harder and really cultivate. So for example, one thing is the piano. So when I was really little, my parents, they put me in piano lessons. I hated it. I had a fuss about it, blah, 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 blah. Years later, I tried to take piano classes. I could only do it for like about a few weeks or maybe like a month. Life got busy, so I had to drop it. So I wish I could have really cultivated that. And then another, like a fun one is aerial fitness. I don't know. Do you know aerial fitness?
I have no idea.
Oh my God. Okay. So basically with Lyra, this is kind of weird, but Lyra, it's like a hoop and you do different things within the hoop.
Okay.
And it's so good for your core and it's the coolest thing in the whole world. So I was in that during COVID with my best friend, Michelle, and we would have a blast. And then life started happening again, and then I had to take a break, and I haven't been back, and I really miss it.
Well, something that you should know about me, Netanya, is that I do not like to exercise.
Oh, no.
I don't like the gym. I don't like to exercise, which I should, but I don't.
So what do you do? Because you look so good.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I like to eat healthy. So not really a healthy diet.
Okay.
I don't starve myself, but I do like to eat healthy.
That's good. Okay, so you like salads.
I like salads. I like ceviche. I can have ceviche every day in the week.
Okay, there we go. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but that's impressive. So you play the piano.
Like, I can only play one song. I can only play this. It's Beethoven. It's
That's beautiful.
Just that one. That's the
So
one.
Trip, Anna, next time we have Netanya here, we need a piano.
Let's not.
Yeah? We got the thumbs up.
Oh my gosh. So that's the only song, but that's where we are.
That's amazing. Noah, let me tell you, you are such an inspiration to so many people. And again, I'm going to repeat this because I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. When I walked into the room and you started to host the meeting that I attended in Melville, you lit up the room. And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart, Netanya, and thank you so much for hosting that event, because if it wasn't for that event, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah, or maybe at a different event we might have.
Or maybe at a different event, right?
Yeah, but
or maybe in Albany.
Maybe in Albany
at the Capitol building. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. How can people reach out to you? Do you have social media that you want to share to our listeners?
So my Instagram it's Nay_Ariel. So it's NAY_Ariel. I'm on Instagram. I want to say that's the easiest way to connect with me. If you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to connect, definitely connect. I'd love to connect. I also have my own website, which is www.netanyalewis.com. Should I spell my name?
Sure, please, by all means.
Okay, so www.netanyalewis.com. Or LinkedIn if you want to connect on a more professional level, Netanya Lewis. So I just said my first name and last name, Lewis. And if you ever need a recommendation, if we connect, then just reach out. I have no problem doing that.
Thank you so much, Netanya.
Course.
Now, final thoughts. Anything that you want to tell our audience, our listeners, our viewers?
Oh my gosh, that's so much pressure. All right, so I'll say three things. I'll
sure.
say with three bullet points. One, thank you for listening fully. If you listen to this whole interview, thank you. The second thing is I hope you were able to gain or learn something from this. And three, if you are someone that is an entrepreneur, if you are someone that wants something better for yourself, really do the work, and this is the last thing. So my tagline is, you are important, you are necessary, and you are needed. No matter what you've been through in life, no matter the obstacles that you've faced, no matter the situations or issues that you may have gone through or done, you matter. Your life matters. You are important, you are necessary, and you are so needed. And that is all.
Beautiful message. And something that I'm, with all due respect, something that I'm going to steal from you is, it's either day one or one day.
Oh, that's a quote by somebody else, but okay. I didn't know who it's by, so take it.
I'll take it. Netanya Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, she is a world of knowledge. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you to our listeners, our viewers. Don't forget to download the Latino Mixx app. Latino Mixx with 2 X's, and we welcome everyone to hear this beautiful lady, this beautiful entrepreneur, because we were only here for 30 minutes. But I think that if you had the time, of course, we would have been here for like 2-3 hours at least.
We could have been.
Right?
Yes.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Long Island Talks _MS. Thank you very much and enjoy your week, everyone. Bye-bye.